Hi, Daryl. Hi, Boo. Just thought I'd put together a little sort of composite of the two sessions that we had done for you and maybe just take a tiny little bit of explanatory time for things that might be just a little awkward for you. Hopefully you're making progress with your chord learning and playing and strumming. We'll just revisit those things now, maybe just a tiny bit more detail. And don't forget, any questions, anytime, give me a yell. We want to make sure that you get to play your song. And Daryl, I do have a couple of ideas for you, so I will connect with you about that. Okay, we learned, first of all, our E minor chord. There it is, okay? We can play all the strings, you don't have to worry. A couple of different ways to play an E minor chord. You could use your first two fingers, you could use your middle two, which is what I tend to do, and later on, if you take your guitar playing further, you would end up having to use your other two fingers when that shape appears at different points up the neck. But we don't need to talk about that right now. Remember the strum? The whole goal of the two strumming styles that we've covered so far is for your arm to be going up, down, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, and you notice that the main beats, the down beat, are the 1, 2, 3, 4. So down and 3 and 4. That just helps to keep you on track. So even when we're not sounding the strings, there's still a movement, because in order to play a downstroke, you have to come back up. So whether you sound the strings or not is still a stroke, okay? So here's what we learned the first week. Down, 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 up, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, the only thing you have to be aware of there is that 1 and the upstroke is not sounded. Everything else is. So we've got 1 down, and then we bring our hand up. That's actually one beat called 1 and. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And it might be that you just get to learn the shape of the strumming. In my head, I hear the dum da 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 dum da 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 dum da 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 dum da 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 da. Everybody has different ways of how they sort of interpret that, how they learn it, how they perceive it. For me, it's usually rhythmic because I'm a drummer. So that's what works for me. The second strum, we might as well deal with it right now, adds an extra no strum beat to it. And it's just like this. We have a down, same beginning as the previous one, down with the upstroke not being played, down, down, up, and then beat 3, the down stroke is not played. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So pattern-wise, we have a down stroke, then we have a down up stroke, which sounds twice, then we miss one, then we have an up down up. So we play 1, then 2 together, then 3 together. So 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2 and 3 and I beg your pardon, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. The trick with that second strum is that you begin with an upstroke after a non-sounding beat. So first bit is fine, 2, then there's a downbeat that's not sounded, and then you finish with up, down, up, right? So down, down, up, down, up, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. let's get back to the chords. The E minor chord, we play all the strings. Well, you don't have to. I'm playing the low 4 strings there. Don't have to play them all. Just playing the tops, the low strings. You don't have to play them all, okay? But you can. That's okay. Our D note, first finger on the third fret, on the third string, second finger on the first string, and the ring finger, the third finger in between, but on the third fret. Remember, this chord sounds best when we only play from the 4th string down. 4th string is the D note, and that is the root note in a D chord, okay? Can catch the A if we want, the 5th string, but not the E. It sounds horrible. The E note isn't part of the chord, and as such needs to keep out of it. And if you remember, I will hook my thumb over top to stop that E being caught, because sometimes when you're playing pretty hard, it's easy to catch the wrong note and then it sounds awful. So I keep my thumb over there as a mute. All right. We learned a couple of new chords last week, and that was the G and the C at 9, and then the proper way to articulate a C chord, or to shape a C chord. So let's go back to the G. Doing what I suggested that you do makes that chord a 4-finger chord, and that's a little difficult for a beginner. I'm using all 4 fingers there. I could do with 3 fingers if I take these 2 off and put my 3rd finger on the 1st string. The chord sounds almost identical. Hardly a difference, but it is different. But it's usable. The advantage of having your 3rd finger in there is that you can just move these 2 fingers down 1 string to play a C chord, which is actually called a C add 9, but it is a substitute, as I said in the video, it's a substitute for a regular C. Here's a regular C. Here's the C add 9. It's got a slightly higher ring to it, but it's all part of the chord. Okay. This one definitely needs to be learned, no question at all. First finger on the 2nd string, middle finger on the 4th string, 4th fret, and the ring finger on the 5th string, and there we go. There's the C add 9. With this C, don't play the E again. Whether you put your thumb there to sort of stop, or you just get used to strumming from below the E. There's our G. Okay, you notice I'm just playing down strokes when we do that, but 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay, G, sorry, getting myself confused, C add 9, there's the C. So you can play the G there. You've got to switch a little bit to play that regular G. If you go that route, the G being played this way is great for getting straight into a D chord. G, D, it works to get in there because this finger can stay planted right there, as it can if we do the C add 9. And then fingers can stay there all the way through. Can even stay there while we play an E minor. It's a derivation of an E minor chord, but don't worry about that right now. Anyway, what was I going to say? So we got our G, we got our C. Okay, we've got our D there. So now we've got the component parts of so many songs. Let me just play through these chords, and you'll probably get even if you don't, there's so many songs that use this. We go from the G to an E minor, to a C, to a D, G, let's go to a D, E minor, so you put pretty well those four chords together in any order that you like, and you're going to have something pleasant to listen to. Something good will come out. And so many chords, so many songs use that chord pattern or the equivalent pattern in a different key. Again, we don't need to worry about that. So where are we? I think that probably would be all we need to worry about at the moment. Boo, you're in luck because those chords are the chords that are in the song that you would like to do. But there is one other chord, and I'll introduce this right now, and then we'll do it in the lesson for Monday anyway. But we'll play an A minor chord. So the way to work it out here, get to our E minor, move both fingers down one to the third and fourth string instead of the fourth and fifth, but put your first finger on the second string on the first fret here. And we have our A minor. Now, A minor and E minor together sound great. That sounds really very, very good. So our new chord for this week would be E minor. There's a few other chords that we could do, but I think I may stop there for a couple of weeks of learning chords, because this will give us enough chords by which we can make sure that we learn a song. So we'll try and stick just to them. If we have to introduce an A major or a major 7 and an A major 7, we will do, or if we have to introduce an E chord, we will. F chord is a bit tricky, but if necessary, we will. But we'll see if we can get through the rest of the stuff just with these chords. And so you don't have any more learning, you really just have practicing and strumming, and then we'll be able to try to piece a song together. So I hope that works for you. Give me a yell, please, if you need any extra help. I'm sure I've probably missed something here, but give me a yell. Have a great weekend, you guys. Enjoy it with your families, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye-bye.